What is up, homies? Welcome back to another episode of the CzechXicans podcast. Hope you're all having a lovely, is today Wednesday? I believe it's Wednesday.
I
Hope you're all
don't know
having
what
a
day it
lovely
is.
Wednesday evening. Sorry, we're a little bit late.
Yeah.
I got some stuff going on, so I was a little preoccupado, but we're here
A
now.
little bit.
We're here now.
Don't lie.
How you guys
You
doing?
got caught up with cable somewhere.
Yeah. In the multiverse. Who knows?
In the multiverse.
Who knows at this point,
Yeah.
truthfully.
I'm a little sniffly tonight, guys, so pardon my sniffles.
Oh, no.
I don't know if I'm getting sick.
it's okay.
I don't know what's going on. I might
Hopefully
have to
not.
mute myself in case I'm
Oh, no.
in case I'm
Case
extra
you're too
sniffly or
boogery.
sneezy. Yeah,
You got
That's
very
mocos?
okay.
boogery. Yeah,
That's
I
all
got
right.
mocos.
Well, we're here and ready to get started. I mean, we got a topic for tonight, but basically we're down to talk about whatever. We're kicking it off with a great standby go-to comment from Senator $2 saying, "Avengers assemble." Heart emoji. Thank you so much, Senator. Really appreciate it. Hello everybody
I think
who's in the
Senator
chat
has
right
been
now.
at almost every single live stream that
Love
we've
it.
done.
Love it.
I
So
think you're right.
that's
yeah.
yeah.
Someone who hasn't
That's a
been
feat
in
in
any of the
itself.
live streams until tonight is Kyle Windle saying, "Hey, haven't attended one of these live
Kyle.
yet. Hi everyone."
Ooh,
Shout
hi
out to
Kyle.
Kyle.
Welcome.
What's up,
Shout
Kyle?
out to Kyle. Adam has a
Before
hat
we get
on.
started,
Guys,
yes.
I haven't even brushed my hair today. It's
Yeah.
pretty
Oh,
bad.
your hair still
It's
looks
a long
amazing.
day.
Shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. Yeah.
Before we get started, let's ask everybody in the chat how they're doing. We got 62
Sounds
people. I
good.
think we have enough time to
Ooh, sounds good. We do.
to read all their comments at least. Is everybody in the chat doing good? Mod's doing good. Felicia, is Wes in here? I don't think Wes is in here
Some-
yet, but you guys doing all right? Everybody's
Adam
good?
Adam just took a sip as we wait for these comments to roll in. Oh, we got one from Suni. 999 says, "Hey guys, as a former sound editor designer, thank you for always showing love for sound effects in live action and animation. Have you heard about the new Me TV Tunes channel starting over Antenna?" No, I have no idea what that is.
I have
but
not.
No, I don't either.
That sounds like it's right up my alley, though.
You have to get an antenna to watch it. That's great.
Absolutely.
That's so
A
funny.
technology that no longer exists. Yes.
Oh, that's cool, but
Adam
it's playing it looks like it's playing a bunch of classic cartoons.
Oh, I love that.
Mm.
I love that.
Bunch of Hanna-Barbera
Oh,
stuff, Looney Tunes, like all
Speaking
Roadrunner.
of,
Yeah.
there is at the New Beverly Looney Tunes classic cartoons show happening this Saturday.
Nice.
And I will be there with Chris Bramante. So if you're in the LA area,
Love that.
come and
Fun.
watch Saturday morning
Love
cartoons
that.
with us at the New Beverly.
That's
It'll be
great.
fun. It's going to be a
That's
good time.
awesome. I haven't been to the New Bev in a long time, but I absolutely
Yeah.
love their like family weekend days where they play, like they do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 90s one. They do so many cool movies at that theater. I really, really love it. If you ever get a chance to visit LA, I think it's worth it for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Trail Willow is asking, "Did Adam catch the Man of Steel Easter egg in X-Men 97?
Remind me, because I
it?
probably did.
I didn't. Nobody got their neck snapped. What Easter egg are you referring to? That's
Yeah,
specific to Man of Steel. I'm curious.
What it is?
Trail Willow, follow up with that. Okay, Adam, you just took a sip from your drink. I don't know if Augustine, if you have
that's
a
already
drink
empty.
nearby. It's already empty.
An empty drink.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm about to take a sip of my drink, but why don't you guys try to guess what I'm drinking before I put it on camera? Because I don't know if you guys can be able to guess it.
A little
Not a Corona. Nope.
Monster.
Monster. Sugar-free
Nope.
Monster.
Good guess.
Whoa.
That's good. That's a very good guess.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Water,
Water, says KP Dubs. White Monster, says Miko Mater. Margarita, Goldenrod, LaCroix, Cactus Cooler. No. All good guesses. Beer.
Ooh.
No, good guesses.
It's not
I
a
won't
beer.
take a
It's not
sip
a beer
until-
of like any kind.
Not a beer. I won't take a sip until somebody guesses the beverage or at least the container that it is held in. Then I'll take a sip and put it on camera. So, huevos con weenie smoothie. That's disgusting.
Oh God.
Blue milk.
That is the worst.
Cerveza. Honey ginseng
the
tea with
worst.
honey. Topo Chico, squeeze it. White Claw, mug, can, custard in a shoe. No. It's going to be a long night.
Custard in a shoe.
In a shoe.
It's going to be a long night.
You're
Milk
gonna
in
be
a
parched
bag.
for an hour.
Pint glass. Capri Sun. That death
Ooh,
drink
Capri
that's water.
Sun.
No. Oh, I wish I had a
Liquid
percent.
Death? No, we're not
Ooze,
sponsored by Liquid Death.
ooze. Horchata.
Mm.
Nope. Chocolate milk, whiskey, Dr. Pepper. No.
Is it a soda?
Nobody got it yet. Ecto Cooler, human blood
Can you
inside
give
a
us
human.
a clue?
Nope. No.
Poop? Pee?
No clues.
What are you drinking?
No clues. Morbius style. Air, tea, Nickelodeon slime, liquefied adamantium, blue milk. I've heard blue milk like 2 or 3 times. Drinking Waterloo tonight. Haha. Water. Star Wars blue milk. Stop saying blue milk. It's not blue milk. Milk in a
Is it
mug. No.
Well, it is Abby's birthday today.
Yeah. What are you
Is it her-
drinking?
Is it her
champagne.
favorite drink?
Are you drinking champagne?
Wine?
I'm
You want a
not.
glass of wine?
Wine?
Ethan says, I'm guessing blue milk. No, for the love of God. Swear to God.
It's probably blue milk.
Mulled
Wait,
wine
what
out
did
of
you
a
say,
goblet?
Augustine?
Is
Wine.
it
say?
blue milk?
It's wine.
That's what we
It
said
is
like
wine.
10 times.
Yeah.
Wine. Who said wine? You just said it just now.
I
We
said
both said
champagne
it.
or wine
Yeah.
because it's
Good.
Abby's birthday.
It's Abby's birthday.
Not champagne, but it is wine.
Yeah.
Mm,
And Abby is
but what
a connoisseur of the wines.
absolutely.
And I would have also accepted just like a fancy glass because look at this.
Oh, I
Oh,
said
what I'm
goblet.
drinking
That's a
in.
chalice.
I was chalice.
a-
That's what I was thinking
That's a
of. Yeah.
It's like a
Chalice, yeah.
chalice. Oh, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I don't want to spill this.
That wine is rojo. That's some red wine.
Hector, so I'm
That
shocked that
shows
you're
some
here.
blood, dude.
A little Chateau Picard.
I'm shocked you're here. What are you
Yeah.
doing to celebrate Abby's birthday later, or did you already celebrate?
Well,
What
we're
3D
going to be
movie
doing
are you making
something
her watch?
later. No, none of that. No, on her birthday, she doesn't. No, she's honestly in the house right now playing Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
That's a
And
good
then
birthday.
earlier we were listening to, and we're going to pick this up when we
Mhm.
wrap up and I go back inside. We were listening to the audiobook for The Hobbit as read by Andy Serkis.
Oh yeah.
So
Cool.
that was our evening. But this is also frustrating, and it was really helpful actually when Adam, you were like, Adam and Augustine, you were like, we might have to postpone just a little bit, 30 minutes. We'll start at 7:30. We had ordered dinner, and I hate it when this happens so much. This is such a bummer on every level. We ordered dinner at like 5, sushi dinner. It was supposed to be here at 6. At like 5:30, it was like, oh, it's been delivered. Here's a picture. And the picture was just black. And Abby was like, I think we got something's not right. I think we got scammed or something. And sure enough,
Yeah.
the person either never delivered the food or
Jeez.
like
Ran with it?
we're getting in touch with Grubhub and we're like,
mhm.
it wasn't delivered, but it says it's delivered. And they're like, well, did you check to see if it's like at a neighbor's? Look, and we're like, it's not at a neighbor's.
Yeah.
And it's such a bummer because my first thought is like somebody just like took it. This delivery person, which sucks because I'm like, Grubhub has your information. Like you're gonna get fired or in trouble or something. Like, why risk it? And then my other thought is like, somebody's so desperate that they took this food because they needed the food and needed somebody else
Yeah,
to
they're
pay for it.
hungry. Right.
That's crazy. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, please don't do that. That's such a bummer.
please pay your employees more so they can have lunch.
Yeah, I think exactly. I think of something like that, and I'm just like, I don't. I tend to go. It's either a person that's desperate enough to do that, or like mean enough to do that and not care. And I'm like, either one of those sucks. So the food did not show up at 6. So Grubhub was like, okay, we'll do the exact same order for you on the house. And so that showed up at like 6:50. And I'm in the house. I'm scarfing sushi down. I'm like, I gotta go.
And sushi's
then
not
you guys
even
are
really
like-
scarf.
Yeah, you shouldn't
No, I
scarf
scarfed it.
sushi.
And then you guys were like, we're gonna delay about 30 minutes. And I was like, oh, good. I can
Thank God.
enjoy my
I can spit it back
God.
out and then eat one at
My
a
wine
time.
and my sushi.
Oh my God. That's painful. That's rough.
Anyway,
Sorry.
yeah. It's all right. It's fine.
okay.
I
Hector,
was
can
like
you read-
mad and cranky and
Can you read
Yeah, you want me to read the
Easy
comments?
Rider's $10 super chat?
hell yeah. What's up, homies? I just got back from Thailand. Went there for some R&R after the Niners lost the Super Bowl. When did that happen? In January?
That was in February, bro.
Yeah.
You've been there for a hot minute.
You've been there for a
hot
minute.
Anyways, any thoughts on the new Superman pick? Happy B-Day, Abby. Amazing work in X-Men. I'll pass that along. Thank you so much, Easy Rider.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
That's something we'll
Adam.
talk about. We're definitely going to talk about that.
Thoughts on the new Superman pick? Go for it. Jump in.
I feel like I don't have as much of like a hot take as a lot of people have had so far. I think the big thing for me personally is you can obviously see it's inspired from multiple eras of costumes. I think Kingdom Come, obviously, the New 52, and then it's got some other things sprinkled in, and it's also, got some of the classic stuff, and you can tell that he more than likely, very likely, has underoos. He's got some chonies back on him.
Yeah.
I am not the biggest fan of the collar. I was never a fan of that, like New 52 design with the collar, with the red trim. And I also am not the biggest fan, once again, New 52, and even some of the other comic books, where they over design the costume. It just has a lot of lines on it. I think up to this point, I think Man of Steel, a costume that does have like lines, is sort of the maximum that I feel like I personally need. I still think that the Kingdom Come Brandon Routh Superman suit might be my favorite, that alongside the Christopher Reeve suit. But I do like the Tyler Hoechlin suit.
Dude, that Tyler Hoechlin suit from season 1, though, with his like first appearance suit, where the kid is like,
the Fleischer
great
throwback.
Suit. He's like, thanks, my mom made it. I'm like, that suit is the best, dude.
Yeah. I think that the same criticism that I have for that suit that I do this new suit, it looks a little too like padded for me. And I think it's a little over designed as well. I think with Superman, we've always talked about this. Superman, it doesn't matter what the suit really, it doesn't need the padding because the strength comes from Superman. He's not having any assistance from the suit. So I don't want to be too judgmental, because also in my head I'm thinking, well, like with Man of Steel, there were story reasons why the suit looked the way that it did. So I'm curious to see if that will be addressed at any point. And, again, this will be an evolution. This will be his first suit, his second suit, maybe in a sequel or in another team-up film or whatever. Exactly. It could be different. It could evolve. So I don't want to be like super harsh on it, but I will say, giving credit where it's due, when I first saw the Kingdom Come Brandon Routh suit, the Man of Steel suit, I was generally more like, oh damn, like that looks really, really good. With this suit, I'm like, okay, this looks good. I'm not disappointed in it, but there is a little bit, I need to be won over just a little bit more with the design, and maybe it'll change once I see another picture too.
Yeah.
Wait, Hector, before we get your idea, I want to address John Myers in the chat. He said he came here to do us to watch us say Nacho Libre quotes all night.
Oh, perfect.
So,
okay.
We got to hit him with a few, but I got to hit him with my sweater too.
Beautiful.
These are my recreation clothes. Guys, we live Nacho Libre. You don't
Save
understand.
It, Save it. Save it.
Every day, I live it.
If John would like to hear any more Nacho Libre quotes, John can request them with a little super chat. That's all I'll say. We can't give that away for free. We can't give that away for free. Little super chat. Thank you for the support,
Hector,
John. Thank you.
Give us your thoughts, my friend, on the suit.
That's amazing coincidence that you were wearing that sweatshirt, dude. That's so funny.
Dude, this is like my everyday wear. I swear to God. Every day.
Every day. Oh my God.
Really quick though, I told Augustine maybe last week while we were prepping for a shoot, I think it was X-Men or something, I was like, oh, my girlfriend has seen the movie before, but it's from 2006, so she hadn't seen it in a long time. I was like, do you want to watch Nacho Libre? Because I was telling her about Fallout and how the actor is the same actor, and she was like, okay, sure. Oh, yeah. The movie starts, and as soon as he goes, why can't we have just like a salad? She was like, I did not realize how much you quote that fucking movie. Sorry, my man.
Every day. You don't even know.
Oh my God.
It's so funny.
Somebody asks a question and you go, shh, secret tunnels. Like, just doesn't make any sense. I love that.
Get out of bed. Sometimes I wear stretchy pants.
Yeah.
It's for fun.
Yeah. Fun. It's for fun. That also, Nacho came up yesterday because we were doing Comics Reforged, and the next pick for our next episode is going to be La Mano del Destino, which is like a lucha libre comic book that has been talked about by the audience for a few excelente. So I'm very excited. And I was like, as we were like closing out, I was like, so that's going to be the pick for next time, guys. Read it, and if you want, maybe you listen to the Nacho Libre soundtrack as you read it. And people are like, that's a great soundtrack. I'm like, it is a great soundtrack.
Yeah, very good soundtrack.
My thoughts on the Superman picture was that, like, when James Gunn posted it, he goes like, this is all in camera or this is on the set.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of like, really?
Yeah.
Because it looks CG as hell and weird. And
Mm-hmm.
if it's one of those things where like that image is in the background because they're using like that
A volume
what are
style.
that volume style, or like they always say like they did it with Mandalorian and all the other shows and movies now
Mm-hmm.
where like they're able to project through a screen and so people can kind of, I'm like, that doesn't look great as a unless it's supposed to not be important, just like a big
Mm-hmm.
beam of something and something's in the background and it's blurry. And I felt like this isn't a great debut image just because I don't know exactly what's happening. I know
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'm not supposed to know exactly what's happening, but it's like I don't know if it's like a laser beam or but I guess that's the point. But I felt kind of like, huh, this is an interesting picture because it just feels like it's just on the set and they just captured it as they were filming a scene and they had an on-set photographer, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of felt like, man, I think it would have been better if there was and don't get me wrong, I didn't love at least I don't remember loving the debut reveal of Henry Cavill in the Man of Steel suit because he was like
Mm-hmm.
up against a bank
The
safe.
bank
If you
vault,
remember that,
yeah.
the bank vault, that famous image. And I also remember feeling like it's weird that this is the first image we're seeing versus something that's more like not necessarily a promotional image, but something that's just like really clean. Like I'll
Mm-hmm.
give you an example. I know it turned into a meme and the movie's really bad, but the first revealed image of Ben Affleck in the Batman suit
Right.
ripped, dude. It was black and white. The suit looked amazing. Like he looked buff and like you're like, "Oh, cool. This is what it's going to look like." But this is a little bit the image itself. I think the important thing about it is more the pose and the storytelling, which I
Mm-hmm.
think it's fine. People were saying this is kind of like a Frank Quitely cover of All-Star Superman. Like it's like a
Mm-hmm.
casual Superman. I think that's great, but I also think like that kind of moment, maybe without context, you're going to need, I don't know, it's more striking because we are not used to seeing Superman that relaxed in comic books even. So that's why those
Right.
covers were so striking for All-Star Superman #1, where he's sitting on a cloud and he's just a dude and he's smiling at you and I'm like, not a care in the world. And I'm like, this is such a different take on the character, but it still
Mm-hmm.
feels like Superman. But then people were, I think, jokingly, but also maybe seriously pointing out like, there's some peril happening behind you, Clark. Like, can you hustle a little bit? Like, why the relaxed pose juxtaposed with like there's actual a laser beam in Metropolis, can we like move your ass, so I think
Mm-hmm.
it was an interesting like attempt to capture that same like relaxed feeling of a Superman
Right.
image. But maybe they were trying to combine that Frank Quitely artwork with that famous Alex Ross image where Superman is like hunched over in a couch just tired at the end of the day,
Right.
working man, superhero, all this stuff. And it's like, man, this character has so much pressure on him that even
Mm-hmm.
something like this, which is still in character, is going to be picked apart. And people are going, he should be braver and faster in saving the people.
Mm-hmm.
And I even saw those criticisms and I'm like, I don't even know if I disagree with them just because of, based off of the Superman, like we're sort of coming off of,
Right.
right? The Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, Zack Snyder Superman, who like exploded in Congress or whatever, and he just kind of stood there and was like mad and frustrated by it, and then flew off and wasn't necessarily doing that slow mo, helping as many people as possible. And then now you have a Superman that's just kind of like putting my boots on. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a more striking thing would have been a more produced and maybe photoshopped image of Superman saving somebody. Or if the image instead was Superman talking to somebody who was going to jump off and commit suicide, like that famous image from All Star Superman. But
Mm-hmm.
do you want that to be the first image of I
Yeah.
get it. It just, maybe the image for me, my takeaway is it felt a little bit too anyway, guys, check it out. This is a cool image, right? Versus like a really like we're very methodically going to think how we're going to debut this
Right.
down to the
Mm-hmm.
molecule. It did feel a little bit like James Gunn was like, "Oh, we got this on the set. How great." Right? Cool. And I had him
Right.
put up this background in the background and then my set photographer took a picture and here it is. And you're like, "Okay, man. I want to see this thing in movement. I want to see,
Mm-hmm.
all those same criticisms of like the suit. And is it like too bulky or paddedy or, or wrinkly? And then people bringing up like, damn, we really got the best Superman suit with the Christopher Reeve Superman, the movie. Like it's so perfect.
Mhm.
It's not too thick, it's not too thin. The colors are perfect. They pop.
Yeah.
Christopher looked perfect in that outfit.
There's
Showed
no
off his
padding.
physique, but he was not. But there was no padding. Showed off his physique, but he wasn't like just
Right.
unrealistically 90s superhero. Arnold Schwarzenegger jacked. Like I'm seeing all of this conversation, and I'm like, yeah, this I would have done a different debut image
Mhm.
because I feel like I was also thinking about some of this stuff and just but it's going to be a very different thing when we see it in motion, and then people were also pointing out like John Cena had the perfect comic book costume with Peacemaker. Like this is from the same people that did Peacemaker, in the Suicide Squad, and those costumes were amazing. And this is coming out, and it doesn't have a same feeling of like, damn, dude, that's Superman.
Wow.
Right. That you're like, man, dude, that pops. Like it has more of a feeling of like, huh, is this AI? Oh, it's not? Oh, the background is very like plain. Like this his apartment? It's very plain. The set dressing. What is this? Is this CG? It's not CG. This is on the set. What's the story? Is that like, what villain is that in the background? Is that but anyway, those are my thoughts. Augustine, did you have any thoughts on the Superman picture?
None whatsoever. I don't
Great.
think
You
about
didn't even look at
anything.
it.
I didn't
Great.
even, no, I didn't. I looked at it, and I feel like it's missing a lot of context, obviously,
Mhm.
because Hector, all your questions are very valid. I don't think it matters what's going on in the background, though. I think this was a very calculated
Yeah.
picture just to give us, to break our image of what we think
We should
Superman
get.
is so far. I don't
Mm,
think I don't think James Gunn is catering to any of our wants or desires, and I'm cool with that. I think he's gonna write
mm-hmm.
his own story, and I think that's what we're gonna have to judge it on. Like, sure, the suit looks like it's 2 inches thick of material. Okay, that's fine. You made that choice. How is this going to work on screen, right? Like, how is this going to move? How is this going to look when there's a huge, CG things in front of it, but also
Mhm.
in front of a person, right? So there's still a lot of context that we're missing and a lot of stuff. It almost feels like what's that magazine that puts out those before the movie images like Esquire or something.
Oh, I think it's Entertainment Weekly, isn't it?
Entertainment
Entertainment
Weekly, yeah, you're
Weekly.
right. You're right. Entertainment Weekly. You know how they do those photo shoots and they never look good.
Yeah,
They
they're
look
Right.
horrible.
photoshopped as hell.
Yeah, so Photoshop. That's what this picture reminded me of. And just like those pictures that I didn't care about, I'm just not putting anything behind this first image of Superman because
Mhm.
if those were the first images that I saw of like the X-Men or whatever, I would probably be pretty worried too. But since I've seen them before and I know that they're pretty excellent when they're on screen,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, okay, whatever. This is the image he decided to give us. I think it's more about the message rather than
Right.
the
Right.
dissecting of the picture. With
Mhm.
that being said, I just watched Power Rangers 2017 last night again. The
Mm.
movie is fucking phenomenal. I think where it messed up is the costume designs. I think the
Mm.
costume designs were way too otherworldly, and I don't think it grabbed onto the
Yeah.
people that it needed to. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want this Superman suit to do the same thing with the Superman audience, right? So
Mhm.
if
Yeah.
we feel like it's a little too far in the left field, it could cause a problem with the movie if there isn't that point of connection because as much as I like kind of disarmed that argument, I will say that the Superman suit is arguably the most iconic suit in comic book history,
Yeah.
and it needs to be done correctly. I think right now James Gunn is really just trying to send us a message as to what he's going to do with Superman, rather than like, don't
Yeah.
worry about the suit. That can change. That will change. He's
We
not
Right.
going
got
to be
that
in the
shit.
suit. Yeah, we got that shit. Just focus on Superman, right? Like,
Yeah.
focus on the look. Focus on like what he's doing. And yeah, could he be moving faster? Sure. We don't know if that picture was taken with
Yep.
a 1,000 frame per second camera, right?
Yep.
He might be moving at light speed, and we don't know because it's just an instant shot.
Mm.
So I think all those questions, as valid as they are, so much context missing, and so we can
Yeah.
speculate
Yeah.
for freaking ever
I
about what
like that.
exactly
I
is
mean,
going on.
some of the context, like you're talking about, the thing that I think of is Superman felt like he got the shit kicked out of him, or he was in some kind of a battle because
Sure.
look at his suit. It's all just like dirtied up and all that sort of stuff. he sat down to take his boot off, and he looks out the window and he sees like, all right, cool, there's a thing in the sky.
Yep.
Well, here I go,
Put
and
time
puts
to
the
go.
boot back
Yep.
on. You know,
Yep.
that
Yeah.
could have been the context that we were supposed to get out of it.
You know what?
But,
It also
you're just making
reminds me of?
assumptions.
You know what it also reminds me of in the Incredibles one where they're interviewing Mr. Incredible. He's like, "I just saved the planet. Can't it just be saved for 5 minutes?" Like, I can imagine Superman having those frustration moments where he's like, "Fuck, I was just out there 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
I'm trying to have dinner here with Lois. Like,
Training my
give me a
pupusas.
break."
God damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's also with a character like
Exactly.
Superman, that character and his stories, you can't pick them apart and pick him apart too much, meaning like he literally as a character cannot be in every place around the world at
At the
once.
same time,
So
yeah.
if you believe in Superman, if you believe in that magical story of this man who has magical powers, but he has a life as Clark Kent, then you will in that world in the DC universe, you're like, oh, well, there's people being killed halfway around the planet. That if Superman were being Superman 24/7, he could go and save them. Why wasn't he there? Why wasn't he here? Why wasn't he there? Why didn't he hear that? Why didn't he see that? And the stories they're not supposed to operate like that. They're supposed to operate on some level of he needs to kind of be in the right place at the right time and things happen around him. And then with his powers, he can help people. But with Superman specifically, over the decades, the story has now put him as a reporter in a very high energy, high information center of the Daily Planet or whatever, a big metropolitan city, so that if there is something happening in Paris, he will hear about it where he is, versus like he's not based out of Smallville, Kansas. He's not based out of, the Fortress of Solitude, the Batcave or whatever. He's supposed to be this reporter for that reason, just to get him to the big stuff. But if you believe in that, that means that Clark will get a report of some stuff happening in San Francisco and he ignores it because a bigger thing is happening in Paris. And you can't fault that fictional character for basically being omnipotent, but he's not really, but he is with his powers because he's so overpowered that if you read his stories and you go, I don't like Superman because he doesn't save everybody at all times, always. It's like, you have to have stories that have some drama.
Right.
And
That's
like
the
you were saying,
conundrum,
Augustine,
though.
that's right. But that's what makes when the stories go into that and where Superman has to make that choice, if he has to make a choice, you're right. That's what adds to good stories if they're done right. But like Augustine, you were saying, like maybe that image is like Adam, you said he took his boot off and he's about to take it off. But then in the background, in the 1/1 millionth of a second, there's a laser beam that is shot and it hits something or it hits the Daily Planet building or whatever. And Superman, we are just seeing it before he can hear it. He's about to hear it and just in 2 seconds be over there. But we're just seeing him put the boot on, in that 1/1 zillionth of a second. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
and if you get
See how much
too
you can
in the
dissect this
weeds,
shit.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You can
You
get
can't.
too in the weeds about that, and like I said, it's really about the message he's trying to send with like, look, this is not the Superman that you probably think you're gonna get. This is gonna be my take on Superman, and I wish more directors would do that. Like as much as we are consumers and we are fans and like stuff, we have to remember that these projects are made by very specific people with their ideas. And it doesn't matter what we think at the end of the day. They're going to give us their product, right? And that's why I like filmmakers, and that's why I trust people like James Gunn, because he has given us so much good quality superhero content.
Yeah, pretty good track record.
Cool,
yeah.
man, cool. I mean, the best track record.
Yeah.
He made me go from not liking the Guardians very much at all to have them being my favorite super team. With Rocket. So there's nobody I trust more with a character than James Gunn, and I think he's going to do okay with all of this, with the suit, with the villains, with Superman as a superhero and as a human, as a human playing a superhero, or vice versa, however he's going to play this. So it's going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, I agree with you. I think I want to say James Gunn is probably the most consistent director who's made DC movies, other than maybe like Christopher Nolan in like recent years. Like you think about all the directors who've been, you look at Wonder Woman versus Wonder Woman 1984. You look at, the Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Justice League, all that sort of stuff. Aquaman 1, Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
He's definitely been the most consistent. You can't look at directors who only made one movie because that's not fair.
Right. That doesn't make sense. Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, I I have a lot of faith that James Gunn will do right by the characters, and of course there will be things that we'll watch some of those movies and shows and we'll go, not for me, but I
Right.
understand
Yeah,
what they're
absolutely.
trying to shoot for.
You
So at
know,
least
Right.
I respect the attempt.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't even considered until you guys were mentioning it. Like, this suit is probably going to change anyway
Mhm.
for like a
Yeah,
future project.
100%.
I was like, oh yeah, that happens all the time. And then I remembered how
Yeah.
like James Gunn inherited Suicide Squad, right? He didn't direct the first
Mm-hmm.
Suicide Squad movie. And Rick Flag looked like dumb and generic in that. And then Rick Flag had like a great look in his Suicide Squad movie that was very
Mm-hmm.
comic booky, very colorful. It really
Yeah.
popped. So I'm like, man, even if this film comes out and there's reasons for the suit to look the way it does, like you were saying, Adam, for the story, whatever the case
Mm-hmm.
may be, then at the end of it he gets a new one, or in the sequel or in a Justice League, whatever, like they could like maybe even look at people's sort of feedback and go, okay, this worked, this didn't work. And
Mm-hmm.
it,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like I do have more hope that this whole universe is going to work versus the previous
Yeah.
DCEU, where I was like, each movie felt
Yeah.
like this could be the last one. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and then even when that franchise was going, they were making movies that weren't even a part of it, like Joker or the
Mm-hmm.
Batman. So I'm like, I don't feel that way anymore. So I do feel this sort of the same level of like of protectiveness over the MCU, where I'm like, yeah, man, it's very flawed. There's a bunch of stuff that
Mm-hmm.
should be addressed, and they still might
Yeah.
because they're still making movies. That's how I feel about the
Yeah,
DCU. So
absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah,
Look, if there's one thing we're not going to do, we're not going to
yeah,
ugly Sonic Superman at this point. Like the
I
suit's
know,
going to
I
be
know,
what the
I
suit
know.
is. We're not going
Leave
to
it,
form a campaign.
leave it.
We're not going to do any of
It's so
that
dumb.
because James Gunn doesn't deserve anything like that. Let's
Yeah,
see what happens and then we'll go.
hey,
And then
man,
we'll go from there.
it's
We'll go from
mostly
there.
blue. He's got red boots. He's got a cape. He's got his
He's
chonies.
got his
Like
chonies. Yeah, let's go.
He's got his
we're
little
Let's
eighty
go.
curl.
percent of the way
Come
there.
on.
We're
Yeah.
80%
Got
of
the
the way there.
curl.
Maybe 90% of the way
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Comment from Laggy Super Chat 1999,
Oh
boys.
Thank
boy.
you.
1999. Thank you, Laggy.
With I'm assuming Spider-Man 3 video game set to be in the works. I can't imagine how tough it must be to try to incorporate Miles Morales into that game with two fantastic Miles adaptations that already exist in the world, from
Mm-hmm.
Insomniac, from his previous game, and from the Spider-Verse films, because Miles is Spider-Man just as much as Peter is Spider-Man, but I guess the third Spider-Man game is supposed to be Peter Parker. So do you guys have thoughts on that? Laggy has concerns about that.
Well, when you say Spider-Man 3, are you talking about the Spider-Man 3 game or you
Insomniac,
talking
yeah, the game, the
got
game.
it.
The video game.
Yeah,
Well, here's the thing, and I think there's a lot of crossover. So I think that a lot of people can enjoy different interpretations of the characters or different, variations of the story. But I also think that they're also very separate. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it's tough because you also don't want to just repeat what's been done before. But you look
Mhm.
at
yeah,
like how many video games exist, even like Marvel video games that exist, DC
yeah,
games, like how many variations there are of the DC characters. They will all find their own audience when they do other things. Whether or not you enjoy that, I think that's going to end up being kind of on you to
Mhm.
figure out. Like I
Yeah.
know people love the Justice League. What is it? The Injustice universe.
sure.
I could take it or leave it. It's like it's not my favorite interpretation of those characters, but I understand why people find those versions of the characters appealing,
Mhm.
especially because of
Yeah.
like the type of game that they're in, the games that they're in. So
Yeah.
that's great. But I don't know. I don't know if there's anything to necessarily be concerned about unless they completely changed who the character is at the core. Then I would say like, yeah, maybe that is a little troubling, but I don't know too much about what the game is going to be as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mike O'Leary, $5 super chat. The Crow 30th anniversary UHD arrived today. Excited to see those
Heck yeah.
dark noir tones be real dark noir
Mhm.
tones. There it
Mhm. Mhm.
is. Esteban
Adam,
Saldana had a.
hold on,
Go
hold
ahead.
on, hold on, real quick. Adam, I think we need to do a CzechXicans live one day where we all calibrate our televisions to the correct black colors.
Show people how to do it.
Yeah, we'll show
That'd be
people
fun.
how to do it just to make sure that Mike
Yeah.
can get the correct blacks for the
Yeah.
noir
Nice.
tones that he's
Right.
looking for. Make sure
Love
the
that.
brightness is on point, the colors are represented correctly,
And well, the
white
nice
balance
thing,
is right.
a nice thing with these ones, first of all, like look at this beautiful design. Hold
Mhm.
on.
Yeah, that's great.
That's
Nice,
so
nice.
cool. I have both versions.
Steelbook?
There's this version, there's the other one.
Ooh, it's clear.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
clear. It's
Yeah.
super nice.
Ooh.
Super nice. But this one has Dolby Vision encoded on it. So, the movie has a lot of dark scenes, bright scenes, and the Dolby Vision is really able to display it really nicely on your TV.
Nice.
So, yeah, it looks really good.
Cool.
Tyler Adams says his motion smoothing is cranked, bro.
No,
That's a good setup.
I'll kill you.
You know he's getting 1,000 frames per second. You know it's good.
Good Lord, help.
It looks clean, bro.
I went over to Keller's house a couple weeks ago, and that dude had some kind of True Motion on, and we couldn't figure out how to get it off.
No.
Me and Keller were flipping out, and I think even like.
Did he get a new TV since I watched his house for him?
No, I don't know if he did, but I think they say like did it like reset it or it turned off and on or something like that.
Yeah, because it wasn't on when I was there.
Yeah. Of course, you turn it off as soon as you step in the house. You're like, I'll babysit this house
The
for one.
TV gets
I go to
so scared
furniture
that Adam's
stores
in
and
the
I'm
house,
like,
it turns
can I
off
borrow your
itself.
remote, please?
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Esteban Saldana had a $4.99 super chat. First one, thank you so much, with a message retracted. So thank you very much, Esteban.
Good message.
And whatever that was, we agree and appreciate it.
Excellent.
I can see his message on my.
Oh, can you? Was it inappropriate?
No, not at all. That's weird.
Was it?
Esteban said, been watching y'all since 2015. I love everything y'all stand for and all the content y'all produce. Love from Austin, Texas.
Oh, thank you so much,
Hey.
Esteban. Well, I'm seeing maybe two different comments, and that was the first one, message retracted, and the second one, I see that. So thank you.
I see.
I see.
That's
And then there was one from Easy Rider for $5 that said, I got you, John. More Nacho Libre quotes, please. It gives me eagle powers.
Okay, we each got to come up with one, and they can't be the same one. So we each have to, or like one that you think you do quote maybe and kind of use in life when the opportunity arises. Let's see here. Okay, the one that I use because my mom loves it because she loves Esqueleto is sometimes I'll say, I'm worried about your salvation and stuff. I'll do that one. There you go. Adam.
I just used this one maybe like 2 weeks ago while my girlfriend was cooking and she looked at me like I was a psychopath. Get that corn out of my face.
I mean, classic.
Okay.
The one that I've been wanting to use that I have not had the chance to use yet, and do the motion for is where he goes, you made me look like a fool last night. And then he kicks the wall. He does like 3 kicks against the wall and he turns around.
Amazing.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hold it. If anybody wants any more, let us know with a super chat and we'll do more quotes. Ashley has
It
got
gave me no nutrients. Okay, sorry.
Save them. 600 pesos. I want to say, are these Filipino pesos?
You know Ashley. You know, dude, there's only one Ashley.
Ashley. That's a pretty common name, Augustine. I got to be careful. I can't assume that.
I don't know, man.
Finally, caught the homies. Super bummed I missed the Invincible versus X-Men debate because I was adjusting to PST time for work. But on X-Men 97, would y'all want them to resurrect Gambit and others on the show if they find a way? Heart hand emoji and gray block emoji.
That's
I don't know what that
one
is.
That is a tough one because I think we have talked a little bit about does it cheapen the story to bring these characters back? Does it cheapen the moment from when they were taken from us? But I think you brought up a good point, Hector, while we were watching last night's episode. No, because I feel like no matter how many times I've watched that episode or that moment with Gambit, it hits me hard. I may not be as emotional as I was the first time because I was so stunned by that choice. Yeah. But I still watch and I go, I can't fucking believe this.
It's like how Morph dies in the first episode. When we rewatch the first episode, or if you go back and watch it now, there's still a moment where like Morph dies and Wolverine goes, Morph! Like that still has an emotion behind it. So I'm down for it. I'm down.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even have to ask you, Augustine. I know you're down for it. I know you want Gambit to come back.
I don't think so. I don't think I want Gambit to come back.
Whoa!
I really don't. Only because, because there's so many other cool mutants that we could focus on. I'm also not a Gambit stan. I think his death is a very impactful point in this show. And while I don't think his resurrection would cheapen anything, it
just
could
want
be like
other
a
characters. That's it.
pet cemetery situation in which he comes back and he's not the same, or he's evil, or like whatever. But I feel like that moment stands alone in like superhero content history, because it was such a great moment in the show and in the context of like in its place in bigger superhero stuff. And so I'm okay with that. If he comes back, I'll be okay with that too. But I like that moment to just kind of live there. So, you know, superheroes never really stay dead. So I'm guessing he's going to come back eventually.
True.
But, you know, I'd be okay if he never did. And I know that a lot of people don't like that because there's a lot of Gambit stands out there who really love Gambit. I'm lukewarm on that guy. Okay.
Francisco Moro, $9.99 super chat. Francisco says, "Missed you guys. 2 things. 1, Doctor Who this Saturday on Disney Plus. Are you going to watch it? 2, am I crazy, or are you guys watching The Boys from the start of season 1? Yeah, but we did that like last year or the year before.
Yeah.
Right? When did I can't even remember.
Those recordings of The Boys started in 2022.
Holy moly.
And we watched season 1, season 2, Diabolical, and then when season 3 came out, we watched season 3. And I think the only reason we didn't release those reactions sooner was by the time we had finished them, I think season 3 was like a week away from starting, so we just didn't have enough time to get them done. So we held on to them. We're like, well, when season 4 comes out, we'll start releasing them. So
we'll knock them out on YouTube. Yeah,
exactly. So we already watched them 2 years ago, but you know, whatever.
Yeah,
it's okay.
And Fallout is kind of the same way. It's all done on Patreon.
Yeah,
but it's gonna come out sooner or later.
I'm gonna be gone for a week. So yeah. So it's just been a crazy week.
Yeah, crazy.
And also, Doctor Who. I don't know if you guys watch Doctor Who. I feel like the answer for that is: are we gonna watch it? Either private, we're not going to watch it for Heroes Reforged because we're very behind on Doctor Who, not just, but whatever. It hasn't something
70 years behind.
But I only watched one of the recent specials that they put on Disney Plus. I have to watch the other 4 because they did 5 altogether, and then start this new season. And I am planning to watch it. It's going to be on Disney Plus, which is very cool. But I don't know if I'm a Doctor Who guy. I don't know if I'm a fan of Doctor Who. I've seen like one episode in this one special, and I was like, I get it, but I don't know if that's my, as Austin Powers would say, I don't know if it's my bag, baby.
I watched some of the episodes with Matt Smith. I think it was Matt Smith, and was it Karen Gillan that were on it together?
Yes.
Was that
so.
Maybe?
Okay, yeah.
It
was either
was
it might have been David Tennant and Karen Gillan. I don't remember exactly what combo it was.
I think it was Matt Smith and Karen Gillan. I think.
Okay, yeah. So I watched a few of those episodes, and like you, Hector, I agree. I get it, but I haven't watched enough of it for me to really be like, damn, this is like this is primo. I need to watch this.
I will say that the few ads I've seen, I really like the new actor that's playing the Doctor now. He was in Barbie, because he's like really just super charming. He oozes charisma. He's really fun and funny. Like, I keep seeing this ad pop up on my phone where this woman's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm the Doctor." Very like let's go, you know. I'm like, that's fun, that's great,
very cheery.
Great
yeah.
I'm the Doctor.
That's
hell
funny.
Yeah, good for him. Movies.
I don't watch. I haven't seen any Doctor Who, so I feel like I missed that train, and I feel like it's too late for me to jump on that train. I figured, because there's always so much stuff to watch. Anyways, Movies Clockford, go for it, Hector.
$20 super chat. Thank you so much, Movies Clockford. Even though I'm not a fan of the collar on Superman's suit, however, Superman in the new DCU is younger and has been a superhero for a little while, so I believe David's suit is going to go through some evolution in the first movie. Okay, could be
very possible.
Could be.
Excellent. Yeah.
The very famous Jorge Garcia, who was an actor in the TV show Lost, I believe, Jorge Garcia, with 129 Mexican pesos. Jorge says, "Saludos desde Mérida, Yucatan, Mexico. I'm a sub since the superhero news channel was 17 then. I just want to support you and send good vibes. You deserved more." First ever super chat.
I'm 87 now.
Jorge's like, I'm married and I got 2 kids and I have 2 houses.
Jorge, now I'm showing your channel to my grandkids.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
Jorge.
so old.
Yeah, thank you for the support. Thank you for the support. And this has nothing to do with your comment, Jorge, but just a heads up for any future commenters. Please do not tell us how old you were when you originally started watching.
Would you
That
like
has
to kill
nothing
us
to do with
quicker?
We love your comment. We love your comment, Jorge.
It's
Oh my
very
God.
yes,
Thank you.
yes, agreed.
Yes,
agreed.
Saludos.
thank you,
Thank you so
Jorge.
much for your support. Thank you for your first super chat. That's
Amazing.
awesome. Kyle Volti, $10 in Canadian
Yes.
Canadian currency. I was
Yes.
about to say Californian dollars.
Aren't
$10
they
bucks.
loonies?
Yes, in 10 Canadian loonies. Superman 1978 was the first movie my dad ever took me to. I just wish they'd
Wow.
use
Oh,
the John
wow.
Williams score. I love that score, but I say
Yeah.
no only because my brain has compartmentalized it to be a different universe. It's weird. It's the same reason like I didn't
Yeah, I
like when
agree.
Danny Elfman's Batman score popped up in the Justice League movie.
Mhm.
You know, and somebody asked him, he
Or
was the
even when they
composer of
tried
that.
really hard to fit the John Williams theme into the Henry Cavill stuff later on.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Yeah.
It just. I think that with superheroes, that they should kind of have their own identity. The
Mhm.
one piece I'll give you is when Michael Giacchino did the Spider-Man TV show theme,
Oh,
but it was only for the
Mhm.
opening of like the
Mhm.
Marvel logo. It was not for his Spider-Man
Right.
music. And I remember somebody interviewing Danny Elfman for Justice League, and they were like, "You put like, did you use any of the Batman theme from Batman versus Superman?" And he said, I think very arrogantly, he goes, "There's only ever been one Batman theme. That's all that there's ever
Mhm.
been.
Mhm.
Everything else
Yeah.
has been like that sort of film music, film score, whatever it is. Whether
Right.
he's
Yeah.
talking about the
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer music for the Dark Knight trilogy or whatever." And you go, "Yeah, you're not wrong, Danny, but it's like, but that movie is not your. This is not this."
Right.
You know, the
Mhm.
Michael
Mhm.
Keaton Batman is not the same as Ben
Right.
Affleck Batman. So
And then they
I
never
have
put the
mixed
Danny Elfman theme in The
feelings
Flash
about that.
when Michael Keaton showed up, and I was like, "What is this about?"
Weird, dude.
Like
That's where
once
you
or
do it.
twice. Yeah.
That's where you
Yeah.
do it. Like
Mhm.
weird. And so, yeah, I mean, yeah, I love that score. It's so
Felicia
good.
in
Yeah.
the chat said, "New Superman, new theme," and I agree. And just think of this as an opportunity to get another amazing Superman theme.
Right.
That's
right,
really what
right.
it is.
Exactly.
We have new identity. Let's tie him to something cool
Yeah.
and new.
And I
Great.
mean, you know, as much as I obviously love the John Williams Superman theme, it is one of the best pieces of film music probably ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
But
Yep.
I also really like Shirley Walker's take on Superman the Animated Series. I really like some of the theme songs from Superman Returns that are new, that are not like the John Williams recycled music. I really
Lotman.
like Hans Zimmer's score for Man of Steel too. So
It's
yeah,
beautiful.
so I really do think that I forget who it is doing the music for it's
John
someone
Murphy.
John Murphy.
So it's going to
I-
sound like this. Bam, ba-dam, bam, ba-dam, bam, ba-dam, bam, bam, ba-dam. That's what it's gonna
This sounds like the
sound
theme from Halloween.
I
But
know. I'm making
but
it fun.
But I do think that it is an
Guardian
opportunity
score is
to
not my
create.
favorite, but
Yeah, but
yeah.
I do think that there is an opportunity to do something new. Now, I will say, I am, you know, I know you're joking, but I am a little underwhelmed by the choice. I would have liked someone that, if I hear the name like a Michael Giacchino or a Danny Elfman or a John Williams or a Ludwig Göransson or a Natalie Holt or someone that I'm like, oh, okay, I feel like I'm really gonna get a dope score. But with
Would've
John
been
Murphy,
great.
I'm like, okay, like John Murphy has done some, you know, like the score for Sunshine's really great, but the Guardians one, I feel like Tyler Bates for me, the first Guardians score, I'm like, that to me feels like the Guardians of the Galaxy
Agreed.
score,
Yeah.
that
Agreed.
music, that theme song. The third movie, did he do the second movie too? And even Suicide
No,
Squad,
just the
the
third.
Suicide
Just
Squad.
the third. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, none of the theme songs really like stick out to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is
Yeah.
like top tier DC theme song. So we'll see what he cooks up.
Yep.
Movies Clock for $5 says, I forgot, but what you guys think about David's Superman S symbol? I think it's a mixture between the Kingdom Come symbol and the classic suit symbol. Yeah, it's cool. I'm into it. I'm not. It doesn't
I
make
dig
me
it.
mad.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I dig it.
mean, I think it really just comes down to like, we associate that symbol with Kingdom Come so much. What are the story reasons that it's incorporated into this one? If there will be any,
Right.
we'll see.
Right.
Yes.
But it's a good.
Yes.
I
Just
like
a
that
design
shield.
choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the design choice on that shield. So
Yep.
to see it in this new application is going to be good.
Yeah.
I
Go,
thought it was all cut up. There's a bunch. Thank you guys so much for all the support tonight.
thank
I
you.
know there's a ton. Yeah. Keep going. Keep going.
Ooh. Theodore Harris, $20. says, "Good evening, gents. I always take rumors with a huge grain of salt, but I read that Marvel re-signed Ryan Coogler to direct Black Panther 3, and they are interested in him doing the X-Men movie. I think that would be an amazing choice." Yeah, that's what I call a no fucking brainer. That is an amazing choice across the board. Like,
yeah.
We had been praising the writing that Beau DeMayo and the writing team for X-Men 97 have been bringing to that show. And I think a really important aspect to how good the writing is that the writers, from what I've seen, they're diverse. They've all got different backgrounds, and those backgrounds are a part of these writers' lives, and they're bringing that, whether they're people of color or part of the LGBTQ community. So yeah, I think like I was complaining about how gargoyles, I think, should be black. Like from a black storyteller, because it feels like Goliath is black to me, and it feels like that's part, X-Men is very black, should be very black. It should be very, very, coming from that type of a voice.
Bring on Beau to be a co-writer. Bring him in. Let's do it.
If I were Marvel, I would also be like, Ryan, hey Ryan, would you like to? I'd just be like, do you want to do X-Men? Like, it's just like either he does or doesn't. It seems like such a no-brainer. And also a Black Panther 3, of course, would love to see that from him.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Even if he didn't want to direct, the same way Ryan Coogler produced like Creed 2, and I think produced Creed 3, would love to see, if he could still sort of help, because that's his world, dude. That's to me, that's as much his world, Wakanda and those characters, as Guardians is for James Gunn. It is going to be weird if someone else does a Guardians of the Galaxy movie without him. The same way people were sort of like a little iffy on like, oh, Guardians and Thor Love and Thunder, like not my favorite use of the Guardians or whatever, because it's so tied into that storyteller. So yeah, no brainer.
Alex Lady in the chat said John Carpenter for Swamp Thing. I'm like, good Lord. If you're talking about for the music, obviously because James Mangold's making it.
Oh yeah.
Baby.
Dude.
Love it.
Peel him away from his Xbox and then he'll do it for sure. Lena Robbins Music, $9.99 for the super chat. I'm just happy to be here, sweet boys. Also adding to the nacho fund. Love y'all. Okay, we need another nacho quote.
I got one.
Okay, let me think. Hang on. Let me think.
I've had them all for days.
Okay, I got one. And I do this all the time. Okay, Augustine, you got one?
Yeah.
Mine is
go. Oh, wait. Oh, you're going?
Read some books.
Okay, go. Oh, you took mine. Go away.
Read some books. Go away.
It's okay. I got another one.
Read some books. Adam, what's yours?
This also occurs in our kitchen. We're in our kitchen a lot, apparently. Smells like cookies.
Smells like cookies. Nice. Augustine?
The line is, I would not want them to think you are a flusy. Nobody quotes that one. Nobody quotes that one.
That's a good one, dude. Damn, that's a good one. I love that.
Oh my god.
That's so funny. Perfect. My favorite use of the word floozy in my life. Floozy. Greg McCoy with a $20 super chat. Greg is asking, are you excited for the new Planet of the Apes that comes out Friday? I've heard good reviews so far, and I've enjoyed the franchise so far. Also, Adam, how's the search for those Mighty Ducks Blu-rays?
Ooh,
Dang.
Great question. I have Mighty Ducks 1. I don't have D2 or D3. They're really expensive on eBay right now. People are selling them for like $50 a pop.
Disney Movie Club?
Yeah, DMC, unfortunately. So
yeah, sorry, dude.
10 going for 50.
Yeah. Oof, my goodness.
Very expensive. Hector,
I'm very excited about Planet of the Apes. I saw it.
You can't give us a review though.
I can give you guys a review. I thought it was good. Yeah? I thought it was very good. Yeah? I don't know if it was as good as the previous Caesar movies, Andy Serkis to Caesar. I think I like this movie, or I would rather watch the new one, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, over Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
But
I don't know if it's okay. Yes, but I don't know if it's a. So I'm slotting it right in there. Like I think I like it better than the first one, but not as good as 2 and 3.
That's still pretty goddamn good, though.
It is because Rise is a pretty good movie. It's very good, actually. So, but I don't know if Kingdom is a better movie than Rise. I'm just saying I'm at a point where I'd rather rewatch. And I didn't see it in 3D. I'm going to try to go see it in 3D this weekend. But visually stunning. Yeah, they're releasing it in 3D. Hell yeah, dude! Kingdom, let's go. Let's
Oh.
effing
Time to
go.
wait. Time to
Oh,
wait till
Yeah.
the 3D
Oh,
Blu-ray comes
shit.
out.
That's
There it is.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
if you like them, go check it out. Let me know
Yeah.
what you guys think. And I'm always a fan of that franchise, so I'm going to root for that franchise
I'm
for
not
sure.
gonna lie. You know, when
Absolutely.
they announced
Yeah.
Wes Ball was doing that movie, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, Wes Ball. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, I know
Mhm.
when Matt Reeves had come on to take over for Rupert Wyatt. Was it Rupert
Mhm.
Wyatt?
Yes.
He had done a few things already. Like he had done Cloverfield, and he had done, Let the Right One In. But it also wasn't a name that I was like, okay, well, we'll see. But
Mhm.
I would say I was a little bit more excited than I was for Wes Ball. So I was like, okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
don't fuck this up because those last two movies
Mhm.
are excellent. But
I
to
know.
hear that
I don't.
it's still like as good, maybe
Solid.
not as good as those last two, but it can still hold it like
Yeah.
against those. Like that's pretty damn good.
This is my takeaway is I think that if they don't bring back Wes to direct a sequel to this, I would feel
Mhm.
fine with that. But because I wasn't like blown away by what the director was doing, but I think that
Mhm.
the characters and the story is really strong for a part one that you
Mhm.
could, like previous trilogy, really kick it into high gear
Right.
in the sequel and do bigger and better, So
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
liked it.
Cool.
Low
Wait,
Wolf.
before we move on,
Yeah.
I think we should mention this because it's a big thing that happened in the Lord of the Rings universe. Bernard Hill passed away recently.
Oh,
and he
yeah.
was
Yeah.
King Theoden, my king. He led
Yeah.
what I believe is the greatest scene in cinematic history, which is Theoden's charge.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, my man. He was a
Yeah.
fantastic actor. Also, went down with the ship in Titanic. The dude
Yeah.
was a goat actor. Like he's,
Yep.
legendary
Yep.
boy.
Did you guys see Did you guys see the hobbits talking about him at a convention? Because they're at a convention, he was supposed to be there.
Oh,
And
really?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
when he
Oh
when he
man, I
passed
don't
over the
think I want to
weekend,
watch that. I'm gonna cry.
it's really sweet. I don't think that they lose their composure. I think they get a little emotional because they knew him, and I feel like they also must have done enough conventions, since they filmed
Yeah.
it 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think I want to say who's the actor? It's not Dominic Monaghan. It's the other one who is
Billy Boyd?
Billy Boyd. I think said some stuff about him because he worked. I think he maybe did a little bit more with him. I can't remember exactly which of the hobbits was most in scenes with this actor in the
Yeah.
Lord
It
of the
was
Rings.
Dominic. It was Dominic.
It was Dominic
because he was
So it
he was
may-
on the Pelennor field and
They
stuff.
were
Yeah.
the four of them. The four of them, like Elijah, Sean, Dominic, and Billy, were all on stage, and it was kind of far away. It's one of those conventions. So like I couldn't tell exactly who was talking. It may have been Dominic with an accent that was sharing some really nice words, and then they like cut to a tribute or something that they had that the video stopped. But I was like, man, they were all together at a convention, and they said this during because they had like a panel or something, and they
Wow.
talked about it.
Well, anyways,
yes,
everybody
RIP.
needs to watch as homework the extended versions of Lord of the Rings by tomorrow.
There you
There
go.
will be a quiz.
There you go. He's not even in
so just be
Fellowship,
ready.
but do it anyway. Do it anyway.
Yeah,
Hector,
you
Hector,
gotta
I have
watch
to
everything.
ask, where the hell did you find Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes in 3D? Because I'm on a Fandango and I don't see it.
It was on trailers and stuff. And if I went to Real D, like on Twitter, they would have a poster of it. It says like releasing in Real D 3D.
Oh, interesting.
Am I
nice.
wrong? Am I wrong?
hope
That
not.
I caught that on the Twitter account. I really
Can
hope so,
anybody in the
man.
I
I'm
chat
see
so
verify
IMAX,
pissed.
but I don't see
well?
3DS.
Find it on that
Anybody
Twitter
in the chat
account. Was I
verify it?
lied to? Did they post that? Because if it's not in 3D, they have a huge missed opportunity because I saw the movie flat and there are some sequences that I was like, reminded me of Avatar. I was like, man, this would be stunning
wow.
in 3D. Can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
If they didn't do it in 3D, they fucked up.
they did dirty. Yeah, I see Transformers, I see Deadpool, I see Inside Out, I see King Kong, I see Garfield, Moana 2.
This is
Kung Fu
on
Panda,
the Real
Real-
D.
on the Real D
Twitter?
Twitter account. Yeah,
I'm pretty
Hector,
sure
I
I
think
saw
they
them
lied to
post a
you.
poster.
see nothing about apes.
Mikey in the chat says you got caught in the lie, buddy. I think you got lied to.
No.
Ooh, the tangled webs we weave, Hector.
20th
Oh my
Century
God.
Studios. 20th Century Studios. I just watched Dawn of the Planet of the Apes in 3D the other night, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
They're so stupid. All right. Low Wolf, $5 super chat. This is going to be a quick one from Low Wolf. Thoughts on the rumor that Marvel Studios wants Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to play X-Men villain Apocalypse? Yeah, that's the most bullshit rumor I've seen in a long time. I don't know where you're getting your information. That sounds like an Instagram account of a fan casting of a unreliable source. That's
he's gonna show up and he's gonna be
fake.
like, we're gonna change. What did he always say? We're gonna change
Oh
the
my
hierarchy
God.
of the MCU.
The hierarchy of the
Stupid.
MCU.
No
No
way.
The X-Men. We're gonna change
honestly,
it all.
All I gotta say
The
is
Rock-
kick rocks, buddy. Kick rocks.
The Rock is like he is a bona fide movie star, but especially after Black Adam, I'm like, I have to imagine Marvel Studios is like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, and Marvel Studios picked Vin Diesel of the two of them.
Right.
But Vin Diesel is only ever doing the voice of Groot, so it's fine. You know, I feel like Marvel Studios doesn't even ever want Vin on camera. They don't want to deal with that drama, you know? Aki has got 1,500 Japanese yen, says, sorry, this is not related to superhero stuff, but please come to Japan for Star Wars Celebration next year. That's their 5th ever super chat.
Ooh,
I
listen,
wish, maybe I will.
Yeah.
I don't know. As of right now, probably not, but man, I love it there. It's the best.
Hector, you went to Japan not too long ago?
Yeah, I've been twice in my life. It's awesome. I love it.
Dang.
I love it. I love it, man.
Adam, what were you going to say? You want to go? You're going to go to Japan?
I really did want to try to go for Star Wars Celebration. I thought it would have been such a fun thing to do, but I don't know. It's when it's like how we try to look 6 months ahead, 8 months ahead, and I'm like, okay, what kind of trips am I going on? I just went to Europe last summer. I'm going on a cruise. I'm trying to go to Europe in the fall. Can I really swing going to Star Wars Celebration in the spring and then going to Hawaii in the fall? I don't know. What are we doing at Star Wars Celebration if we go? Are we doing a panel? Are we like trying to be engaged with the celebration itself? I would love to, but it might not work out for Star Wars Celebration. But guys, if it works out and I can, like swing it, then I would try to go next fall from Hawaii, go from Hawaii to Japan and stay there for a few days.
Okay, cool.
Guys, the last time we all took a vacation together was Prague. And it needs to happen again. That was 5 years ago. Almost 6 years ago. So we need to do one again. And going to Japan would be incredible. Even if it's not for a convention and stuff. We just need to go. We just need to go and hang out because we deserve it. And we haven't done this in a while. So and I need to save money for it. So let's do it.
I agree.
Ashley's got the 250 pesos. More nacho quotes, please.
There you go.
And plus a watch along when rewatched the cooking spash yesterday, and is the next one cooking? You might not stand Gambit, but we stand Augustine. That's so nice. Okay, we need another. We need another nacho quote.
Oh man.
Okay, I think I got one.
Let me
first?
think.
Oh.
Yeah, you go first. Go first.
Okay, how does it go? I don't want to get paid to lose. I want to win.
Win. That's such a good one. That's such a good one.
Great one. Okay, I got one.
You got one?
I'm gonna go. Here's mine.
Oh.
Encarnacion.
Oh. You got to keep
That's a good one.
Encarnacion. Doodle 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 doo.
Doodle 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 doo. One of my favorite lines not said. Well, actually, no. I'll choose this one. This one's said by Nacho. Encarnacion. They are just niños trying to release their juegos.
Yeah.
Nobody ever quotes that one either.
Great.
That's a good
Such
one.
a good one.
Great.
Such a good one.
Great. John Ranyotis, our buddy John Ranyotis, for $4.99 super chat says, long time, first
What's
time.
up,
Miss
buddy?
you nerds in person, but glad to watch all my nerdy stuff week to week with y'all. First time super chat. There we go. That's so nice.
Thanks, man.
That's so nice.
Welcome to
Thanks.
the chat,
We
buddy.
really appreciate
Welcome to
that.
the live stream.
Star Plat 7 with a $10 super chat says, don't know if you've touched base on X-Men moments. If the Cyclops moment made me pregnant, the Nightcrawler and Wolverine gave me triplets. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well said, Star
that
Plat.
makes sense.
Fair.
That makes sense.
Well, so with the swords,
that does make sense.
Yeah.
Yep. Checks
Yeah.
out.
For me,
and
it
I
was
think-
the claw tornado coming down as Wolverine was falling from the sky.
And
One of the animators, I follow one of the animators, and he said his only note for that sequence was claw tornado, and he was like,
tornado.
"I got you, boo," and then he
Amazing.
animated that scene. Oh my god, so good, so good.
not Jack with the $50 euro. Is that what that is?
Thank you.
I don't know. Says super chat.
Yeah.
What are their powers? What does the super suit look like? I guess if super chat was a character, that's the questions. And then, man, I had not heard Theoden died. Love you guys. Thank you so much for your first ever super chat. I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. Not Jack. Super chat would be super sarcastic and super silly.
Yeah. Super silly. KP Dubs, $10 super chat says, I went to their site and requested you for Motor City Comic Con next weekend, but I guess they never called you.
Interesting.
I will have to settle for seeing Felicia Day maybe next year. No,
God
but we so appreciate that. I don't know how far in advance, but like if you have a chance, if you ever have any spare moments while you're there in person, if you wanted to go and try to find like an official there, you know what I mean? Like whether it's like an information booth, if there's not a line or anything, I'm just saying if you have some time at Motor City Comic Con and you swing by a booth that's like, you know, like sign up for next year or something, you can go and let them know, hey, these YouTube guys, they'd make great panel hosts. Consider them. That would be awesome. But we already so appreciate even you doing that much is great. So, because, you know, it's gonna, it helps. We have not been contacted by like a convention yet, but I have a feeling it could happen. I think it definitely could.
It might.
Be awesome.
It could. We'll see. We'll see. We've only been around for almost a decade. That's fine.
Yeah, you might have to retitle this stream, Adam. What do you think? You want to get into the topic?
Yeah,
for the last 20 minutes here and get into it.
Okay. That was not a smooth segue, Hector.
Not at all.
You're usually the king of segues, my friend, and that was the roughest one I think you've done in years.
In years. The main topic was based off of that the Variety article, right? I don't know if you guys had a chance to take a look at it, but it's basically Disney going, we've been having kind of a rough time lately, especially with the Marvel stuff. But it was also Bob Iger saying, like, we're going to pivot with our animation stuff to go one original, one sequel, one original, one sequel,
right?
Which is not great. But it's also like, this is not just a Disney thing, but there's been a conversation with movies lately, past couple years, where audiences are not seeing original, quote unquote original. Even if The Fall Guy is based off of a TV show, it's kind of an original new movie.
Who
They're not going out to see it. Nobody knew that. Nobody. That's like Equalizer is also technically based off of an old TV show. The Denzel Washington trilogy. Nobody knew that. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
And so it's partly Disney's fault, but it's also partly because the entertainment industry as a whole has shifted everything to streaming. So audiences are now conditioned to be like, well, I'll just catch it in 3 months or less when it's on
45.
Netflix.
Dude, what are you talking about? You can already watch Abigail, you can already watch Immaculate. The Fall Guy is coming to streaming soon.
Yeah.
Well, not streaming. It'll be like a PVOD, but like come on, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So it's Disney going, okay, if sequels are the only ones that are like the sort of guaranteed money makers, I'm fine with a company like Disney or Disney using a sequel, but I'm hoping that they're going to use a profit from a Frozen 3 to be able to fund an original animated movie and, you know, do that balance. But the thing about the MCU was like, they're going to scale back and do at most 3 movies a year, maybe 2, and they're going to do 2 TV shows a year.
Right.
So I think overall, that's good news. I don't think this is bad news. I
don't disagree with you.
Yeah, I think it's also funny because the phase 4, let's just go the past couple of years, the past 5 years, right? Since Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home came out, since phase 4 started with TV shows on Disney Plus and movies being released in theaters, people were saying, oh, Kevin Feige has lost it. He's not good at his job anymore. And it's like, hang on, if you think that the quality has dipped, it's actually probably because Kevin Feige isn't as involved as he was previously because he's spread pretty thin. Because he's, you know, like how much
to make 20 projects.
How involved in every aspect of Secret Invasion do you think he was when he has to manage all of the other TV shows, the MCU shows, the movies, the this, the that, the this, and that? So it's like, if the plan is to now just like scale back and go back a little bit to the way that they made movies and TV shows, well, they didn't make TV shows before the pandemic, but the way they made movies before lockdown, Good. I think it's good. It will hopefully
Yeah.
mean quality.
Check
agree.
in the chat is correct. Bob Chapek ruined it.
Yeah.
I'm putting all the blame on Bob Chapek.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and I feel like we've said it plenty of times that, and I feel like it was different in the beginning, right? In the beginning, we went through a 12 to 14 month Marvel drought, essentially, where there was nothing.
Yeah.
We had Spider-Man Far From Home, and then we had nothing until WandaVision, and that was like a year and a half later. So we were chomping at the bit. We were thirsting for Marvel Studios content.
Yeah.
And then it all hit us like a freight train, and we got about a year into it. And I think even for like us, or for me, I know I got into it and I was like, maybe this is too much stuff coming out. Maybe I feel overwhelmed. Because even for us just to keep up putting out the videos, it became it was
Too
just
much.
like one thing after the next thing after the next thing after the next
There was
thing.
no
And
break.
and I got to a point where I was like, this is a lot. Like there's no break time for us. And you're going, then you're hopping to the theaters to see the new movie, and there's like 4 movies coming out, but there's 4 shows, and you're like, yo, this is 10 projects in 1 year. This is insane. For someone who just wants to consume, it's amazing. But I think for me, and maybe I can speak for you guys, I really like to be able to explore a story, explore characters, explore subject matter, sit with it for a bit before I got to go to the theater tomorrow to watch the next part of the story. So I'm okay with this. I think I've said it multiple times that I'd be okay if Marvel released one thing every quarter. They do between January and March, they do a movie. Then the next quarter, they do a show. The next quarter, which would be summer, they'll do late summer, early fall, they'll do another movie, and then end it with a show in the winter. Like I think for me, that would work fine. And I think that that would work fine for them too. I think if they did 2 really high quality films, those movies could bring in enough money to fund whatever's going to be happening next. So, but I don't know. I have no insight into their finances. So what do I know?
Yeah. I mean, they're about to spend $2 billion to expand Disneyland, so that's they got the cash for it apparently.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Cash money.
Yep. That's wild to me.
It is.
When a company can publicly say that, but if Disney also has like layoffs, it's just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
Like, it's all a scam. Like, don't do that.
They just cut 7,000 jobs earlier this year, or I'm sorry, early last year.
Last year,
yeah.
Where is all that coming from?
Well, and now I'm sure you guys heard that Disney Plus, Warner Brothers, they want to basically create a bundle package for Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max. God. And I'm just like, what? I get really frustrated. I've been talking about people. I've been talking on Twitter about the theatrical experience, and I'm sorry, I hate saying this, but I agree that the theaters can definitely be expensive, but I also feel like we'll make a lot of excuses for streaming. But I feel like streaming, the cost is getting so out of hand at this point that when I look at my personal finances and I see that I'm spending over $500 a year on streaming, and I'm spending, whatever 25 times 12 is to go to the movies, and I can see 12 movies a month, then I'm like, well, I feel like I know where I'm getting my value, and I get it. Everyone's situation is different. Some people have kids and whatever, but I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't see what's worth it for me. If I can go and I can buy this for $30, then like, why am I gonna have Paramount Plus? What's the point?
Adam, I've seen some of those people who argue with you about movies being so expensive, and I'm like, why are you spending so much money? Like 80, like $100.
If you're going to dinner before and you're spending $200 to go to a dinner, that's
right.
Why are you doing
an expensive movie?
Or
it's also like
is really what's happening.
When you go, hey, can you go during the day? And they're like, I work, and I'm like, okay, great. You've got weekends. I imagine. I hope.
Sure.
Do you have you go on the weekend
where you can go?
And then they'll be like, well, I don't like going to the movies during the day or like in the morning. And it's like, well, then that's your problem. Like,
what do
you want to cheapen the movie?
Yeah, exactly.
Go. There's nothing better than an 11 a.m. Sunday morning movie.
My favorite.
It's the best.
God.
It's the best.
It's so good. It's so good.
And even some theater chains have like the cheapy Tuesday or whatever it is. Like AMC's like are super cheap on Tuesday. So anyways, this industry's a mess, dude.
Thing about that.
Crazy. It is. It's the whole thing. It's there's so many problems and issues with. We've talked about it so many times with just streaming in general. But then also I think like movie theater chains could be doing better, You know, I don't love that
Mhm.
AMC is the
Yeah, I
main
agree.
one
I
across
agree.
the
Right.
country. I feel like they
Yep.
could also, my God, shorten the trailers in half. It's getting so
So
ridiculous that it's
ridiculous.
like
trailers. Yeah.
it makes me
I
want
show up
to,
30 minutes late
Yeah.
dude.
on
And you're good.
purpose because I know
And
it's going to be
also,
30. Yeah.
don't show the Nicole Kidman thing out front anymore. Like it's like this is a commercial. I'm already here.
I'm here.
This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
if I think
exactly. I don't need that.
if they were to do stuff like that and have here's the other thing too that's really frustrating. I don't know exactly how the deals are set up. I think it's half and half between movie studios and like theater chains, right? And I think in terms of like the profit of a movie, I don't know.
I don't
Uh
think so, but I do know that the studios don't share profits with the theaters the first weekend, which is a huge
First
problem.
weekend,
Yeah.
brutal. But it's like
Interesting.
if theaters theater chains were to the main thing I think about when I go to a movie theater and I don't have a great experience,
Mhm.
and it's usually like at an AMC or a Regal or something like that.
Mhm,
The first
mhm.
thing I think of is, man, how much money did the CEO of this company make last year? That's the
Right,
first thing I think
exactly.
of because I
Mhm.
live in a
Yeah, of
capitalist
course. Of
system.
course.
I go, if this
Yeah.
CEO pulled in 7 figures, 8 figures, I'm like,
Mhm, mhm.
it's disgusting because this is a terrible experience I had. We just have to take them out. That's all I'm saying. We just got to take out all the CEOs. I mean, take them
Eat
out.
'em.
Wink,
Eat
wink.
them alive.
Eat that
Eat
rich,
them
and
alive.
then just
Yeah.
make that experience better and make people want to go out to the movies. And yeah, dude, the food is too expensive and it's pretty
Mhm.
shitty for what it
It
is.
is.
But
I
Yeah.
agree. I
I
agree.
I don't
Yep.
you know, I don't know. Different price points, and if I'm at the theater and they giving me an option of like regular M&M candy bag, but also like the
Mhm.
share size and the
Right.
shares, you know, just like just give me the options. I
Listen,
don't know.
just go to 7-Eleven beforehand, dude. You're set.
Seriously,
You're good to
You can do
go.
that.
seriously, you're
You
not
can do
wrong.
that.
You're
They'll
not wrong.
never stop you. They'll never
Yeah.
stop you for having stuff in your
Yeah.
bag.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
just
And
there are options.
yeah, I mean, I have
Mhm.
AMC A-list,
Mhm.
so I pay
Good deal.
$25 a
Very good deal.
month, and every
Very
time
good
I go
deal.
to the movies, yeah, like you buy tickets online, you don't pay any of the surcharges. Every time I buy tickets, I think I get 100 points for every purchase, and then every 5,000 points, I basically get a $5 coupon. I can use it for tickets or concessions.
Mhm.
So I go
Mhm.
to the
Yeah.
movies semi-regularly. So, you know, if I'm buying 2 tickets, it's 200 points. So it kind of racks up pretty quickly. But they do have a free
Mhm.
version of that too. I think it's just called AMC Stubs. You just
Yeah, I
sign
think you're
up
right.
and you can, it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
as
you
many
skip one.
points. Yeah, it's not as many. I think it's like 20 points per purchase, but so it's gonna take you a little bit longer to earn rewards, but you know, you're still earning rewards. And if you still want to
Mhm.
continue supporting the theaters, like I've told people, this is actually hilarious. I told someone to hack, listen, you're going with your family. Here's what you do. You buy a large popcorn, you
Mhm.
buy a large drink, you
Mhm.
get a few boxes, you divvy up the popcorn
Mhm.
with everybody, then
You
you go get a
lick it and pass
refill.
it. You
You do the
lick it and
same thing
pass
with the
it.
drink. You get extra cups.
Mhm.
You put a little bit in each cup. You're still buying the inventory from the theater. They're
Mhm.
still
Mhm.
relying
Mhm.
on you buying the cup or the bag. They're
Mhm.
not making.
Yeah.
They're
Mhm.
probably not making much off of the Coca-Cola machine in the corner. Same thing goes. Well, yeah, but I mean that's essentially it. It's like they're making food off their concessions, but even you know I know that they have their own packaged candies. I'll buy their
Mhm.
chocolate covered peanuts instead of buying Goobers. You know,
Mhm.
so it's like
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
can do
Mhm.
little things here and there to if you still want to support the theater. You don't need to go and buy a
Mhm.
$25 pretzel. Sorry.
Yeah. You don't.
Yeah.
You really don't.
And
Yeah.
you guys were mentioning like the new Bev earlier in this episode. And
Yeah.
I feel
Mhm.
like that's another thing. If you happen to live in a town or a city that has like a relatively independent movie theater,
Hmm.
Mhm.
like go and support them. And through
Yeah.
that theater, you find community. You know,
Hmm.
movie lovers are supporting the arts, they're supporting the big
Mhm.
commercial
Mhm.
fun stuff. Like you can find a way to keep that business alive and
Hmm.
then and kind of make that business work for the community in a sense, you know, and really get it to fit for what
Yeah.
kind of movies you like to go watch
Yeah.
and stuff. So, you know,
Yeah.
there's lots of stuff you can do.
Yeah. And I do
We
agree
got a
with
We're
super
spoiled
chat.
out here, though. We're spoiled
I
out
know
here
we
that
are.
we can,
We
I know
are.
we
we
are.
can do stuff like that. So yeah.
I do
True.
agree with Felicia that people need to learn some theater etiquette again. I agree.
Oh my God.
Like you
Yeah.
can be off of your phone for 2 hours. Nothing's
Oh
gonna
Yeah.
happen.
man.
You're gonna be
Oh
okay.
You
man.
Don't
I
talk.
think we
Yeah.
got to start like I am so okay with if a movie theater really cracks down on that. And
Yeah.
if they go
Yeah.
pull out a talking person or somebody's on their phone or whatever, like
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
great with that. I'm fine with
Yeah.
like for a movie theater to be a
A-okay.
dick about that. Okay, for sure.
Yep.
Uh
A-okay.
Francisco Has another comment here, Francisco. That's fun to say. $4.99. Besides Ryan Coogler, who would you guys have as MCU go-to directors? I was looking at the list just now.
Just generally speaking,
I guess.
Good question.
I think that John Watts doesn't get enough credit for those 3 pretty solid coming of age teenager, big effects Spider-Man movies. I also want to give a shout out to Chloe Zhao, who I think directed the hell out of Eternals. Whether you like the movie or not, it's a beautiful movie. It's so well directed, and she did a great job, and I loved her enthusiasm for the whole thing, and I hope that she would get to come back.
So
guys, your favorites?
So Francisco's asking about like go-to directors, as in people who already made MCU movies.
Yeah,
not
I guess
necessarily.
So. You think Francisco's saying pick a director that you would want to go to the MCU? That's what you think?
Right.
I don't think that's what Francisco. What did you mean? What did you mean? Francisco in the chat says, "Sex Hector, she made me laugh so hard. Thank you, buddy." Huh?
Huh? What did he say?
Okay.
Look,
is Francisco insulting Chloe Zhao because of Eternals because she had a sex scene in it?
I don't know.
I mean,
I think Favreau is a big one for me. Really big one. I thought he did such a really great job with that first Iron Man movie. I know number 2 is not necessarily everyone's favorite. I'm also very
I was wrong with Francisco's choice of words. Francisco meant directors that you would prefer directing in the MCU. But again, even that's confusing. Like, we prefer them to direct in the MCU, meaning like they haven't done a Marvel movie, or they have, but we prefer them to stay in there. I don't prefer any director stay in there.
Well, off the top of my head, if I'm thinking of like movies that I've recently seen, like I really
name a director.
Well, I really like George Miller would be really cool. I don't think he'd ever do an MCU movie, but you never know.
Never.
The Daniels, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Sex says George Miller for Thor 5. Yeah, dude, he just directed Hemsworth.
That'd be
just did Hemsworth.
Yeah, true. I'm thinking of the directors. Radio Silence, the directors of Abigail, Ready Player, not Ready Player One, Ready or Not, and some of the new Scream movies. I think they're really good.
Yeah. For me, because he already did one of the best superhero movies ever, Brad Bird, I think needs to come in and do something.
Ooh, good pick, dude.
But here's my top pick. Go watch Primal and tell me that Genndy Tartakovsky is not the perfect Wolverine director. Go tell me he's not the most perfect Wolverine solo movie director. Oh my god! Oh my god!
That would be. That would be sick, dude.
I don't think I'll be able to. I know that it's not going to happen because he won't do live action.
Damn, that's a good one.
Damn it.
Oh, man.
I'd also throw Dan Trachtenberg into the mix.
Yeah.
Director of Prey.
Yes.
He did the pilot of The Boys.
Yeah, Dan Trachtenberg.
Yeah, he was good. He was really good.
Oh, man. Who else would I want to? I think Denis Villeneuve was asked about it. I'm just going through my letterbox with like movies I saw recently. Whoever directed The Iron Claw, get them in there. I thought they did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope. I don't know who directed that. What about Mike Flanagan? If he did something, maybe like a Man Thing or a Werewolf by Night or a Moon Knight or something.
That's related. He's got to.
Hey, we saw Michael Giacchino do dope with Werewolf by Night. Let's get Michael Giacchino in there.
Seriously, why not?
Let's get
Michael Giacchino is directing the feature-length remake of Them, which is about the giant mutated ants. And I think after that, it's like Giacchino should be given whatever character is his favorite. It would be great. It would be great. Yeah.
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 Oh my God. Also, the director of RRR.
The director of RRR. Yeah, let's get him in. Let's get him in and do something wild.
That would be incredible.
Yep.
That'd be
I think some people asked what I mentioned with the project that Genndy's on. It's Primal, the animated series on Cartoon Network.
Not
Go
Primal starring
Primal.
Nicolas Cage. No, the real Primal, the cartoon. Get out of here.
Primal. The cartoon Primal.
My goodness.
On is it Cartoon Network, right? Or Adult Swim? The same thing?
I guess it's on HBO Max, but it's an Adult Swim show. Yeah.
It's on HBO Max, yeah, for sure.
Peter Jackson, I would say, nah, he's good with the Beatles stuff right now. He's just chilling.
Yeah,
Just
I
doing
don't know.
documentaries and
If
stuff.
Peter
and
I
DNR.
want to see Peter do more
Yeah.
horror stuff. I want him to see.
Yeah,
I
go
want to
back
see
to
him go
that.
back to his roots and do more horror
Back
stuff
to
because
that.
I love Frighteners. I think that movie's great.
Mhm.
So I think he just needs to go back and just do that.
Mhm.
The director of Nacho Libre is it Jared Hess?
Jared Hess, yeah.
Joshua
Well, also
Sure.
directed
Hess,
Napoleon Dynamite, right?
Napoleon
Yeah,
Dynamite
also did
director. That'd be
Napoleon
great.
Dynamite and
I
the
see
super
some
underrated Gentleman Broncos.
Yeah.
I see some
Everybody
love
needs to see that one.
for Eternals. I need to. I saw a clip of Gentleman Broncos the other day with the hilarious Sam Rockwell. It was cracking me up, dude. I need to watch that again.
It's so
It is
I have
pretty
it
funny.
on DVD if you want to
What is
borrow
it?
it.
Where he's like, dear,
Yeah.
deer. Oh,
Deer.
there's like
There's
surveillance
attack deer.
deers everywhere. Attack deers everywhere.
Surveillance deers.
So silly.
It's
And
so
I'm
funny.
seeing some love in the chat for the movie Eternals, which I think is really nice. So we see you
Yeah,
guys. Thanks so
yeah.
much for doing that. And also, I think I've seen our pal Coy Jandro say this, but Greta Gerwig, director of Barbie, if a director
yeah,
like
let's
that
get
would
it.
ever be interested in a Marvel character, I think Greta has made some phenomenal movies, including Barbie. But like Little Women is
I
top
love
tier,
Little
and
Women.
Little Women is so good, and Lady Bird was great, and Barbie
Yeah.
is amazing, and so yeah, somebody like that would be because I think Coy was getting some pushback, obviously, from the internet for saying like the
I
director of the
wonder
Barbie
why.
movie, and it's just like don't be silly, dude. That movie was such a hit, like it's
Yeah.
of course, if
Barbenheimer,
she were
baby.
interested in it.
Barbenheimer.
But I think she's doing something for Disney. She's doing what was it, Chronicles of Narnia or something
Yeah.
else?
That's for Netflix.
Or is that what it was? For Netflix? Chronicles of
Yeah.
Narnia? Or am I thinking of another fantasy? No, that's the right
Chronicles of Narnia for
one. Or
Netflix.
Terabithia? Whatever.
No,
Whatever
not
it
Bridges
is.
to Terabithia. It's Narnia.
Something like that.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of Guillermo love in for him
For
in
sure.
the MCU, but I'm not
For sure.
I'm not sure what project he would be good on. Like I know he did Hellboy, right? But is there a maybe for like a Mephisto movie? Maybe
you give
like,
him a solo
what would he...
thing movie, a solo thing movie.
Yeah, it's just got to be like a one-off, thing.
A sad monster.
Yeah, a sad monster movie.
Who's beautiful, who has a beautiful heart. Hector should direct a Marvel movie. Yeah, no thanks, no way. I'll produce one. I'll produce it. But I don't want to direct it. I'm not a director. I don't want to direct. I'll produce it and I'll hire Adam to direct it.
I think all
How
three
about
of
that?
us. You know how those brothers did. That writing team did. Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think if all three of us got together and formed like a writing team and a directing team, I think we would kill
it.
I think
you imagine a movie
really
and at the end it says directed by the CzechXicans. Like that's our credit.
That would be amazing. That would be rad.
We're like in the Oscar for Best Picture goes to the CzechXicans, Hector Navarro, Adam Lavick, and Augustine Rios.
That would be
Absolutely.
cool.
Great.
Yep,
That would be cool.
I see.
All right, guys. I think.
Wait,
one
you
more
still got
super
to
chat.
knock out
One
Mike.
more super chat.
No, we don't.
One more
Hey, we
super chat.
haven't.
Mike
I read them
O'Leary.
all.
Mike O'Leary hit us with the $10, but
The
he
hell
was
are you
talking
talking
about
about?
our
Oh,
previous
yeah.
conversation.
Cricket.
Mikey said, if you see someone on their phone, report it to staff. That's the only way the situation will be handled. Unless you're a former cinema manager like me and still bring that voice out mid-movie. Ha! Nicely done, Mikey.
Yeah.
Good job.
I do
Good
that
job.
sometimes
Shut him down.
if I need to.
Shut him down.
Sir?
Yeah.
Get the fuck off your phone.
Please turn your phone off, sir.
Sir, please get off your phone, sir. Thank you. You got to project from the back of the room.
That's right.
I
see you.
That's right.
Did you guys see that video of the fight breaking out at a theater?
Garfield
that was showing
screening?
the Garfield movie.
Oh, yeah.
In Spain.
Yeah.
And it was like a funny fight, but then I saw another post that said the guy who started the fight was like apparently physically abusing his girlfriend or wife, and then another kid who wasn't his kid. So then that's why it all broke out into this. And then the dude in the white t-shirt who ended up beating the shit out of him was apparently like a professional boxer. So this boxer saw that and like took care of business down in front of the Garfield. It was great, dude.
Yeah,
it was
as
great.
he should. Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh
Amazing.
man, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Adam, close us out, buddy. This was a fun one.
This was a fun one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. If you want to see any of the uncut reactions for any of the things that we're watching, there is a lot. If you're interested in watching The Boys with us, we have seasons 1, 2, 3, and Diabolical. If you want to see X-Men the Animated Series, we've got seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a lot of those. Check it all out. There's plenty of stuff. And stay tuned because we've got X-Men 97, episode 9, the penultimate. And then next week, these guys are going to be doing the final episode or the finale of season 1 of X-Men 97. Don't remind me. Straight to hell. Thank you guys so much for watching.
It's okay. Your reaction will be on Patreon.
I know.
It's okay.
It will be. It'll be good. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.